Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Have a desire for something or someone who is not present. A coniferous tree. Straight-grained, durable and often resinous white to yellowish timber of any of numerous trees of the genus Pinus. Feel physical pain. Have a desire for something or someone who is not present. She ached for a cigarette. Be the source of pain. A dull, persistent, usually moderately intense pain. Have a desire for something or someone who is not present. Lose vigor, health, or flesh, as through grief. Become feeble. The prisoner has been languishing for years in the dungeon. Have a desire for something or someone who is not present. Desire strongly or persistently. Have affection for, feel tenderness for. Have a desire for something or someone who is not present. A yearning for something or to do something. The basic unit of money in Japan, equal to 100 sen. A coniferous tree. A coniferous tree. Good at remembering. Planning prudently for the future. Took a long view of the geopolitical issues. Desire strongly or persistently. Having or being more than normal or necessary. Long on brains. Holding securities or commodities in expectation of a rise in prices. Is long on coffee. Involving substantial risk. Long odds. Of relatively great height. A race of long gaunt men. Of speech sounds or syllables, of relatively long duration. The English vowel sounds in, bait, beat, bite, boat, boot, are long. Primarily spatial sense. Of relatively great or greater than average spatial extension or extension as specified. A long road. Primarily temporal sense. Being or indicating a relatively great or greater than average duration or passage of time or a duration as specified. A long life. Desire strongly or persistently. Any gymnospermous tree or shrub bearing cones. Any gymnospermous tree or shrub bearing cones. United States painter noted for works based on life in the Midwest, 1892 to 1942. The trees and other plants in a large densely wooded area. United States film actress, 1938 to 1981. Any wind instrument other than the brass instruments. English conductor, 1869 to 1944. English writer of novels about murders and thefts and forgeries, 1814 to 1887. A golf club with a long shaft used to hit long shots, originally made with a wooden head. Metal woods are now standard. The hard fibrous lignified substance under the bark of trees. Cut or shape with a die. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. She died from cancer. Lose sparkle or bouquet. Stop operating or functioning. The car died on the road. A small cube with 1 to 6 spots on the 6 faces, used in gambling to generate random numbers. A cutting tool that is fitted into a D-stock and used for cutting male, external, screw threads on screws or bolts or pipes or rods. A device used for shaping metal. Be brought to or as if to the point of death by an intense emotion such as embarrassment, amusement, or shame. We almost died laughing during the show. Disappear or come to an end. Their anger died. Feel indifferent towards. She died to worldly things and eventually entered a monastery. Languish as with love or desire. Suffer or face the pain of death. Martyrs may die every day for their faith. Suffer spiritual death. Be damned, in the religious sense. Whosoever believes in me shall never die. To be on base at the end of an inning, of a player. Conifer of Australia and New Zealand. New Zealand conifer used for lumber. The dark wood is used for interior carpentry. Large Japanese ornamental having long needles in bunches of 2. Widely planted in United States because of its resistance to salt and smog. Large 2-needled timber pine of southeastern Europe. Tall symmetrical pine of western North America having long blue-green needles in bunches of 3 and elongated cones on spreading somewhat pendulous branches, sometimes classified as a variety of ponderosa pine. Small slow-growing upland pine of western United States, Rocky Mountains, having dense branches with fissured rust-brown bark and short needles in bunches of 5 and thorn-tipped cone scales. Among the oldest living things, some over 4,500 years old. Pine of eastern North America having long needles in bunches of 2 and reddish bark. Large 5-needled European pine. Yields cembra nuts and a resinous exudate. Low shrubby pine of Central Europe with short bright green needles in bunches of 2. Medium-sized 2-needled pine of Southern Europe having a spreading crown. Widely cultivated for its sweet seeds that resemble almonds. Tall spreading 3-needled pine of southeastern United States having reddish-brown fissured bark and a full bushy upper head. Shrubby 2-needled pine of coastal northwestern United States. Red to yellow-brown bark fissured into small squares. Large 5-needled European pine. Yields cembra nuts and a resinous exudate. Medium-sized 5-needled pine of southwestern California having long cylindrical cones. Large 2-needled pine of southeastern United States with light soft wood. Common forest tree of the eastern United States and Canada, used especially for pulpwood. Small spruce of boggy areas of northeastern North America having spreading branches with dense foliage, inferior wood. Shrubby 2-needled pine of coastal northwestern United States. Red to yellow-brown bark fissured into small squares. Medium-sized 2-needled pine of Southern Europe having a spreading crown. Widely cultivated for its sweet seeds that resemble almonds. Any of several pines that prefer or endure moist situations such as loblolly pine or longleaf pine. Low shrubby pine of Central Europe with short bright green needles in bunches of 2. Large 5-needled European pine. Yields cembra nuts and a resinous exudate. Large 5-needled European pine. Yields cembra nuts and a resinous exudate. A small 2-needled upland pine of the eastern United States, Appalachians, having dark brown flaking bark and thorn-tipped cone scales. Medium-sized 5-needled pine of southwestern California having long cylindrical cones.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.